Hey, out-of-body explorers, welcome back to my channel. And if you don't know who I am, I'm Russi Villalta, and we talk about your out-of-body experiences and how everything is connected. But today we're going to talk about the 5 spiritual principles that I think are very important because of this week in November and what happened last week with Mr. T, and how that opens up doors to our awakening. So, of course, at the end, I'm going to talk about my out-of-body experience that is deeply connected into what's going on today. So take a seat and deep breath and let's go. So the first principle that I want to talk about is the opening of these healing dimensions. And so if you were tracking down all these out-of-body experiences, these dreams, and you did it for years, and in my case, I've done them for years, so this is a very big time now where all the healers are meeting each other. And now it's really important to be grounded because these energies need to be supported, and as a collective, we can really help more people. But don't forget, it's not about just receiving that healing. You need to keep pushing out the healing also. And that brings me to my second principle. Spiritual healers need to continue to work on themselves because that energy is so powerful. They need to know that they need to constantly be clearing, shielding, and aligning ourselves because those energies are so powerful, and that could misalign you into that future work. Don't forget, the darkness is huge going on. There are tunnels going on, and I've told you that before, that my out-of-body experiences of being in the tunnels with the child trafficking, it's scary, and this is what's happening now, and that's why these healing people are coming out. But I was giving progression videos because I think it was just too much for people to really understand that the extraterrestrials are here and there's all these other beings going on. I mean, I did videos on this and, people are like, okay, you really think those movies are happening? Hello? Once you start really understanding what I'm talking about, you're going to be freaked out. And that's why I was like, let me do progression videos. Okay, let me get back to the third principle about old victim wounds. And it's funny because a lot of that has been happening in my life right now where these people try to deflect on me and I'm just like, hello, these are old victim wounds. This could be from this lifetime or your past lifetime or ancestral trauma lifetimes. I mean, right now they're just showing me the movie 300. And so I guess because they're showing me this because of if you have these kinks in your armor and you can't function very well, it is coming out now into play. So try to work them out because it doesn't really help everybody. And that's what I'm saying. That's important for you to clear this karmic debt that most people have. And I've done karmic debt videos on relationships because I had to lose friends because of this whole political thing. I mean, they were chipped. I'm a personal believer of that. They're chipped because I can see the chip behind them. Wanted to live a day in my life when I scan people, it's scary sometimes. So just let go of those traumas. They could be deeply ingrained, but this is the time to do it. When you finally do it, you're going to feel really solid. You're going to come in with that shield of armor and just barrel people through to help them. And you'll become an unshakable force. That's what we're needing right now, desperately. Now on to the fourth principle that I'd like to talk about, technology. It is coming out. They're talking about med beds. Now I have seen med beds in my out-of-body experience, MRI units, and that's what the MRI unit looks like. And they have to change one little bit inside. That's what these extraterrestrials were telling me. There were these little beings standing on the side of them, kind of like E.T., but cuter. Their bodies weren't that fat. And they were telling me that it's only one little crystal that needs to change. But I want you to understand this, though. Your vibration is very important. And so if you don't clear your old trauma, you cannot get healed with this technology. And I'm just going to tell you, here's one of my technology bits, okay? I have not used ice since. This is Let Health. You can look it online. I'll leave it on the description below. These devices are here to help you, but you need to be vibrationally aligned with your karmic debt, with some of those traumas. So your vibrational frequency is the key to unlocking all of this. And like I said, the movie that you can look at, it's Elysium. I watched this movie Elysium with my friends and I was hysterical because it was one of my lifetimes trying to save these children. And I couldn't save them because I couldn't get to that area to fix it. And then I had this whole lifetime just hit me on how these children were damaged. And damaged on purpose because they are the loosh of our world. And that's why everybody needs to know about that executive order on December 21st, 2017 with Mr. T. So I want you to know that's coming in play and it's going to be very, very scary when it comes out because people will not believe that everything was all about these trafficking children and all for money and power. Ooh, scary. Now for the fifth principle of talking about my out-of-body experience. But here's my out-of-body experience. I was in a castle. I was teaching students. They were probably in their young 20s and they wore all white. But as I walked through this castle, I was in this beautiful room and things were covered. So we started uncovering things. You could see the dust on it. And they were very confused. But when I opened up one of them, it was like a pool table, I thought. But as I opened it up, the sides of the panels of the pool table had crystals. And then I say to these students, oh, please be aware that we're going to have people to start healing. And they have to lay on this table with these crystals. And so they were like pretty amazed about it because I was amazed. I was like, wow, I'm actually doing what I need to do. And I was very comfortable about it until I psychically heard my sister. And she's like, you need to come here. I have to clean more stuff and open up the room. And I start walking down the hallway and I'm like, wow, I am seriously in Game of Thrones time. That's when I realized I'm in an out-of-body experience as soon as I turn the corner. And there I see my sister wearing all white because I had to look down. I was wearing white too. And I see her and she's dusting off the mantles. And as I look into the room, there's this little podium. And that podium was being guarded by two Japanese samurai leaders. And so I was like, oh my God, I'm so amazed. They were like this big, walking back and forth, guarding these beautiful crystals. And then around that podium, there were 8 bolsters for people to sit down on, but big for people to sit on. So she turns around, she's like, you're late. And I'm like, I'm always on Latin time. So I'm just laughing about it because I'm like, okay, I wasn't that late because I psychically heard her. But anyway, so she turns around with this like duster and then she's like in this like Greek goddess kind of thing. But you know, we're in Game of Thrones times. And she's like, hurry up, you know, we have to set up the place for the other healers because my sister was the teacher of the teachers, which is really interesting because that's what she kind of does right now. So I was shown in this out-of-body experience that we still have these ancient roles to fulfill. So we are not here to just heal physically. We are here to heal multidimensionally, like time and space don't exist. So you need to know that. I mean, they keep showing me Elysium that people should see. I think it's a little bit too gory. So I kind of forwarded some of that in the movie, but I'm going to remind you, you probably should see Elysium. Don't forget, when you're in this dream state, you are downloading the wisdom to our future healing. And that's why I think it's really important that you connect with people that are on that same vibration. Until next time, stay protected, stay grounded, and continue to heal both yourself and the world. Don't forget, practice what you preach, people. That's my biggest statement here. All right, I'll see you next week, Out-of-Body Explorers.